Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Mailbox Power Mastermind Call that happens every single Monday morning at 8 a.m. Pacific, 9 a.m. Mountain. You figure out the rest. It's almost noon for Lulu, but and Suzanne. I don't know about Alan. I think Alan's on the East Coast too. But for those of you who might be watching this replay, we would love to have you join us live. The more people who show up, the more melding of the minds we can do, which helps more people. If you can't be on live, we understand, but we would love your feedback. We would love your input. In other words, if you are struggling with something, please reach out to me on Facebook Messenger. If you're not on Facebook Messenger, you can send me an email at Brenda@lifes, LIFES, real, REAL, currency, CURRENCY.com. And let me know what you're struggling with, or what you would like help with, or you'd like a mastermind on, even if you can't be here live. That way we can actually help everybody, whether you're here or not. That being said, we always like to start the week with Mailbox Power wins for the week. So does anybody have a Mailbox Power win that they would like to share for this past week? Lulu.
So the call last week gave me so many ideas about different ways that I can, especially when I'm networking and it's hard to give your pitch and convey what we do in 20 or 30 seconds. But so at my BNI meeting, I started with client nurturing is the key to future success. And we had a bunch of visitors. And one of the ladies that was there is a realtor, but she also has a franchise of a virtual assistant company where she provides virtual assistants for businesses. And she approached me after the meeting and just, realtors are a little tough, but Kimberly's shaking her head. Everybody thinks they're so great, but it's a little challenging. But the fact of client nurturing is the key to future success. She told me that really resonated with her. It just struck a chord. So I'm meeting with her tomorrow, and I think she can use this also in her virtual assistant business. And I mean, I would immediately make her an affiliate because I'd rather her deal with the realtors than me. Just saying, that's just me.
I love that. And I'm going to put this in the chat. Nurturing is the key. Oh, I'm going to do this.
Client nurturing is the key to future success. And the other one I used in my Friday meeting was think like a customer, act like an owner. Don't let your customers go to an empty mailbox. And I got a bunch of people after that. I've got an appointment, I think, on Thursday with a guy who was at that meeting. So, it's just different ways. You can't really talk about all the bells and whistles. You have to tap into the feeling that they have, that struggle that they have. And then the bells and whistles come later, is what I've learned.
I love it. I love it, love it, love it. And you said something.
Oh gosh, don't ask me.
No, wait a minute. I'm processing in my head. I lost it already. Hopefully it'll come back to me, because I thought of something when you first started talking about networking. That we can't say it all in 20, 30, 45 seconds. So I was just in a leadership meeting last week for my BNI group, and this topic either came up in that leadership meeting or in discussions in our training, because we did visitor host training. And what we talked about is What if you picked one subject, one small area of your business and talked about it for a month? Because it takes 4 to 7 times for them to remember what you said. Instead of changing your commercial every week, take a month, and if you have a weekly meeting, and expand upon it. So start the first week with something and then add to it the second week and the third week and the fourth week, but it's all the same thought. Like, this is part 1 in my client nurturing is key to your future success. This is part 2, part 3, part 4. We used to have a member that did that and did like a 12-part series, and 12 parts is a little bit too long, and it gets a little, it wasn't necessarily annoying, but it was like, really, can we move on?
Redundant.
Like, yeah, redundant. So if you took a month and you talked about the holidays are right around the corner, what are you doing for your holiday nurturing? Well, in a month from now, on October 23rd, it's almost getting too late. So to talk about Thanksgiving, you've got about a week or so left after that to get Thanksgiving cards out on time. That being said, we've always said it's never too late, but most people, it's hard to convince them to send it when it's going to show up after the fact. So then after that, 4, don't talk about Christmas and holidays. Talk about, what did Lulu say last week? New Year's. I think it was last week.
It was.
New Year's. Yeah. Or if you don't want to talk about the holidays at all, we're headed into the 4th quarter. What do businesses do in the 4th quarter?
Plan for the next year.
They sure as heck do. So talk about planning for 2025, because this is when people are setting their marketing budgets for next year. And you could talk about things like, how has your marketing been working for you this year? If it's working great, double down and do more. If it's not, we might want to have a conversation, because I can help work with you within your budget to maybe do something a little bit different that I believe will get a much better return on investment than what you're currently doing, or something like that.
That was good. Yeah. I love that.
Anybody else have a win for last week that they want to talk about? I think I saw Kimberly's hand up earlier. Did you have something, Kimberly?
I was just able to create a lot of great memories on my cruise, and got some thank you gigograms that I'm going to create. I love this platform.
Awesome. Awesome. Anyone else?
Well, I would just say that I'm working on something that has potential to be really big, and I did want to just give a shout out to you, Brenda, because we spoke after the meeting and you gave me some really good ideas. And then I thought about some other ways that I can expand on that. And so I just want to say that, there's power in this group, and reaching out to other people to get different perspectives and ideas, I think is just crucial for us to grow our businesses. So I did want to just give you that shout out and thank you again for that.
Thank you, Lulu. I would like to talk about not necessarily a win, because I haven't had the meetings yet, but I want you to think about something. Mike and I are poker players. If you haven't figured that out yet and you're watching this replay, we are avid poker players. We have played in the World Series events, and we play in a local league. And this past week, Friday and Saturday, we played 2 different, a social league and then a more serious league, leading up to next year's World Series of Poker. And as we were sitting chatting, people are talking about business and meeting goals. And one of them was talking about he only needs one more referral to win a cruise. Listen, use your ears, because that led to 2 discussions, and we are going to have meetings with 2 different people that could lead, maybe not, but they both were very excited. One is a past customer, so they know kind of what we offer. They don't know the full offering that we have today versus when they were a customer of ours in the past. And we got talking about the capabilities of doing the mailing list, targeted mailing lists, and farming. And both of them were like ears, like they perked up, like, what? Because one of them was talking about EDDM, every door direct mail, and that it's critical for businesses. I said, wow, yeah, EDDM is great. And he said, for our business, that's key to getting future business that's not in your network. I said, awesome. I said, would it be beneficial if you could do targeted direct mail? Meaning, is everybody your client, or is it only the homeowner? Is everybody your client, or is it only somebody above an income level? Is everybody your client, or is it somebody with a credit score above blank? And they're like, we need to talk. So just listen. I don't care if you hike, you bike, you're a part of a sewing club, a quilting club, whatever it might be. I think we miss out on opportunities because we don't translate that to business. Now, do you want to be salesy and businessy all the time? No. But if you're curious and you're asking them questions and they started the conversation, it's not you saying, oh, we got some great new stuff. It's just listening to the conversation and having somebody say something that then you key in, wait a minute, I might have a solution for that. Would you be open to discussion? And you don't even have to have a mini discussion at whatever it is you're doing. You can just say, hey, I heard what you said, and correct me if I'm wrong, and reiterate what they just said, and that you're trying to earn a cruise. Is that right? Yes. I think I might have a solution for you. Would you like to sit down or when could we sit down so that I could share my ideas or something like that? Does that make sense?
Total sense. And the worst thing they could say is no.
Exactly.
At least
If
you've
you
asked the
don't
question.
ask, if you don't ask, the answer is no.
Yeah.
Any other wins for last week that anybody wants to share before we get into the topic for this week? Nope.
This is Suzanne. Yeah, I just have
Yes.
a real quick, oh, Alan has a question too.
Nope.
but
Go
just
ahead, Suzanne.
real quick. I talked to a friend of mine the other day who used to be part of Mailbox Power when it was just the light, I think it was even before, well, it was probably banner season,
Mhm.
and she's the type of person that likes to create cards, but
Mhm.
she only does it like once every, couple months or something. And she said, oh, I tried to get into Mailbox Power the other day and I wasn't able to do that. And I told her about the birthday plan, and I knew it was too much for her because, she doesn't send out 10 cards a month. So my question is, what do you do with somebody like that, that really wants to be creative, but doesn't use it enough? I mean, are we just strictly business and above, or is there any kind of
Well, let me ask you this, Suzanne.
uh-huh.
Why isn't the birthday club right for her?
because it's too expensive. It's almost
Why- wait,
$30.
Suzanne, is that
Uh-huh.
your head and your thought
No,
process?
no, it's hers. I told her that. I told her how much it was and that you get 10 free cards. And if she would do a birthday automation, she would have to, but she likes to do one-on-one creation of cards. So I did recommend that she looked at Canva, that's a little cheaper. And I didn't even know, I don't know any other place where she could actually create a card, on her own. But she really liked she liked the looks of our cards and the fact that, she can create it and mail it, that Mailbox Power mails it. But,
So again, Suzanne,
mhm,
I don't know how the conversation went, but generally, because I
mhm.
used to be there, it was, well, we have a birthday membership, but it is $29 a month. Was
No,
the
I didn't say
conversation.
that. Yeah,
Yeah,
I didn't bring up the cost of it right away. But one of the things we did talk about was the expensive cards, because we were remarking how expensive cards are out and
yeah,
about. But
that's
when she only
why I
does
was
one every 2 or 3 months,
well, yeah, if
know,
it's only one, then she's
yeah,
better off just printing them on her own printer and stuffing
yeah,
them in an envelope and sending them.
that's
I mean,
that's kind of what I was thinking too. But
yep.
as I said, she said, she says, I really like to do it on cardstock and da 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 da. She went on and on, but anyway, I just wanted to throw that out just to say, that she really liked the plan we had initially, which was, what was it, $7 a month or something like that?
9.
$9.
But prices have gone way up on
Way up. Yeah.
everything.
Yeah, I
And
know.
29, if you look at inflation and what things were when we were at $9, most things
Mhm.
are above the 29 or right in line with where we are. Things have gotten supply chain, everything's gotten
Right.
way, it's gotten more costly to do
Mhm.
business or
Yeah.
to send gifts or
Mhm.
but we are still an extremely affordable. If it's just one every couple of months, but if she's sending 5 or 6 every couple of months, maybe she doesn't send any this month, but next month she sends 5 or 6. I still
Mhm.
believe our 29 is the best because by the time you pay for the ink and you go buy a ream of cardstock so that you can use it in your printer and
Mhm.
the wear and tear, the maintenance, you have to buy a printer. Or if you go to Kinko's or FedEx or any of the places that'll print it for you, they're going to charge
Mhm.
you a lot of money.
Right.
And
Oh,
then
yeah.
you got to go home and you got
Mhm.
to fold it. It's usually not in card format, so you fold it. You might have to cut it. I don't know, depending. And then you still got to address it and stamp it. And what is that time worth?
Mhm.
So I'm just
Yeah.
gonna leave it at that because we are more of a business platform than a personal, but with the holidays coming up,
I did suggest that to her, that
with
she get on
yes,
for that,
with
I
the
said, it's nice
holidays,
that you can get on and then you can get off. You don't have to stay on.
yep. With the holidays coming up, all those people going to Tiny Print, Snapfish, Walgreens, Walmart, all of those places to get their cards printed.
Mhm.
Sure, they are only generally a holiday. It's an uptick for the holidays, and some of you might not want to do that.
Mhm.
If somebody's watching this and you don't want to do that and you have customers, send them my way. I'm glad to do that, to have
Mhm.
the extra income for the holidays. If you
Yeah.
don't want to deal with the headache of the holidays and beginners trying to use the platform to send, I get it, because it can be a little bit extra work, but I'm more willing to do that little bit of extra work to get the clients because then next Christmas, people are going to be like, oh my God, my holiday cards or my Thanksgiving cards or my New Year's cards were so easy when I did them through Brenda. And they're going to tell everybody. And now I'm going to add more and I'm going to add more. And somewhere in there, there's going to be a business owner or 2 or 3
Mhm.
that needs something other than just at the holidays.
Right.
So-
I have a couple customers who do the Christmas,
Yep,
you know, which is nice. Yeah.
yep. I think, was it Alan or was it Neil that had their hand up? Alan.
I can be such a klutz sometimes. I don't have any specifics, wins or losses or that. I just want to say that what I've seen coming out in our portal that Wendy's been putting out in terms of video and so forth looks pretty good to me. And I'm really looking forward to what continues to come up. I think that Mailbox Power is doing a lot of good work on the affiliate end with compensation improvements. And I really like what I see. I like who I'm working with. And that's all I got for you today.
Awesome. Well, that's a perfect lead in, Alan, because this is what I was cleaning off my desk because I was trying to find a note and I still haven't found the note I was looking for, but I found this legal pad and it talks about the opportunity with Mailbox Power as an affiliate. And we shared the spreadsheet in the affiliate group some time ago, a couple of weeks ago or so, but I am going to share my screen. So can everybody see the affiliate commission spreadsheet? Yes? Thumbs up?
Yes, we can see
Okay.
it.
Yes.
Awesome. So, what Mike and I were working on is success teams. So yes, we're an affiliate program. We're not a network marketing program, but in any business, you want to find your success units or your path to success, especially when you have a leveraged commission or a program. And we now have a leveraged commission program. So what I want to share with you, and I think we found and gave it to Wendy, but I can't find it this morning. But I need to look for it again. But this is what I'm going to show you. Number of pros. What if you had 10 pros that were all affiliates on the pro plan? That would be $316. But we know that in order to get the system paid for, they need at least 4. It's really 5 when you're talking 20%, but we did these numbers based on 4. So what if those 10 people, all those 10 people each had 4 pros? Well, 10 times 4 is 40. That's $632 a month in monthly residual income. Now, yes, granted, that is based on our 40%, not our 20%. So if you are on the 20% and you have not hit your 30 customers to you, frontline, not total in your organization, then you'll be at 158. But 158 is still your cell phone bill. It's still, oh, well, probably not. It depends on where you are, your utility bill. Probably not in a lot of places anymore. But I mean, that goes a long way. Now, what if instead of 10, you only had 25 customers? Just 25. And those 25 all went out and had 4. So on your second level, you're going to have 100. Well, now look at where you're at. You're at $1,580 in monthly residual income. If you are at the 20% instead of the 40, you're at over 1,000. You're at plus 4, you're at 1,200. That's still a really good residual income. Okay. Can I blow your minds? How many of you want your minds blown today?
Yes, yes.
All right. So let's change this. And it's not pros. And we're okay with pros, but what if we focused on executives? And we went back and we said the 10. 10 front line is going to be $796 and $398 if you're at the 20%. But if those 10, you teach them all to just go find 4 to pay for their membership. So we come down here to the number of executives, and now you have 40 on your second level. That's almost $1,600 a month in monthly residual income. Yes, if you're at 20%, you're going to have to take about 400 off of that, but it's still over $1,000 a month. I was talking to somebody a few weeks ago, and again, I had to catch myself. If you remember, Mike and I, about probably 3 years ago now, 2.5. Anyways, we were asked to share our dashboard. It was probably close to 3 years ago now. Because it was I think it was before Mike actually retired. Yes, so it would have been 3 years ago because he retired in December of 2021. And we were asked to share our dashboards. And as we were doing the math and we were sharing our dashboard and we saw other people doing better than us, we have a tendency to compare our front cover or our inside to somebody's back of the book, you know, and so we got looking at it, and then I started putting on a piece of paper, and I've talked about this several times. I talked about how we started putting on a piece of paper what our retirement income was. At the time, I was not getting my Air Force retirement. And Mike was only getting one of his retirements, but it was like, well, let's compare this to each of the retirements. 27 years in the Air Force, 26 years with Salida Police Department, and then 19 years with the state of Colorado. And we were looking at what each one of those were going to produce monthly in a retirement, which is like monthly residual income, because it's something you can count on month after month after month. It's not Social Security that may or may not be here, may go up, may go down, who knows. I'm talking about something that you put time and effort into, and it is now producing a residual income. People might not have thought about that your retirement is residual income. It's kind of like working a network marketing or an affiliate business. And then at some point you can walk away and you're getting that monthly. Now it's a little different because with affiliate marketing and network marketing, you do have to keep touching it, because if you never call your customers, you never communicate with them, or never reach out and are sending cards and using the system to do your nurturing, yes, it can go away. But the check we were getting in Mailbox Power at the time was bigger than any of those 3 checks on their own. So when I was talking to somebody a few weeks ago, they asked what the income, they said, but Brenda, really, what is the income potential? Because this person needs income right now. And I said, it's really good. He's like, yeah, but not your income, but your top team members. And I said, we'd had some that have kind of fallen off and aren't doing as much. He said, okay, when they were doing good and they were at the height of their game, what were they making? And I shared with him what the possibilities were. And he was blown away. And he said, even $1,000 to $1,500 a month is a game changer. A game changer for the majority of households. So here we go. You go find 10, is there anybody that can't go find, and it might take you months, maybe you don't do it all in the first couple of months, maybe it takes you 10 months and you've got one a month for 10 months, and you teach the ones you bring in to go get one a month. So after 4 months, they have their 4. But think about that. At the end of that cycle, you're at $1,600 a month if you're at the 40%, and you're over 1,000 if you're at the 20% level. All right. It's time to really get serious here. 25 and 100. Who would be happy, because now you're at 25, so most likely you've picked up a few pros, so you're going to be at your 30, and they are working on changing that and possibly reducing that number. Don't quote me on that, but they are talking about what it takes to get to the 40%. So go ahead, 5 more. Do it on your own. Go get 5 more so that you're at the 40% and you're guaranteed to get the 40%. Who here is okay with almost $4,400 a month in residual income to go find just 30, and teach those 30 to just go get their system almost paid for? If they really were paid for, it'd be 150, because they'd each need 5. Because if you're only at 5, you're at 20%. So if truly those 30 were all getting their system covered so that there was no true monthly expense for them other than their postage and what they were sending out, that's over $5,000 a month. But I don't think anybody on this call is okay with that, are they? I just kind of wanted to open up your eyes, because so many people have asked in the affiliate group or out on the Mailbox Power main page, the official page, because somebody's talked to them about the affiliate opportunity. And now corporate is sending out the affiliate opportunity to every customer that signs up. They are getting information about the affiliate. If that's you and you've stumbled upon this video on YouTube, there is money in Mailbox Power. You can create mailbox money with Mailbox Power for sure. Any thoughts on that before we wrap it up for the week? Kimberly.
I think when your mind is open to the possibility, it becomes more real. It becomes more of a reality. And I just think that once I do it once, I have a point of reference to do it again. Like I confirm within myself, I can duplicate it. This is an awesome, awesome call. And thank you for dropping that seed again in our minds. The possibility is so out there.
It sure is. And 30 customers. How many businesses could survive with only 30 customers? As an affiliate, you are a business owner. As an affiliate, you are a business owner.
Yep.
How many businesses can survive with only 30 customers? So I'm just showing you minimally the possibilities. Because if I start to talk about 100 or 200 customers and you only have 2 or 3, that seems unreachable. 10 or 25, if you have even 5, it's like, oh, I go from 5 to 10. I'm just doubling what I have. 5 to 25, it's just 5 times what I have. If I've already done it once, I can do it 5 times over again. But again, just extrapolate that out to the possibilities. Neil.
Just think, if you only found 1 a month.
Yep.
And help them find 4, because that's
Yep.
what it really takes. You have to help them find 4, and it takes you 30 months to make whatever that income amount was, 5,000 or
Yep.
it's a good business plan.
Well,
It-
like I said, Mike and I 3 years ago, we were like, yeah, I don't know. We're not real successful. And I'm not sure. Joe and Vanessa, the people that were asking, it's like, yeah, we've had success with Mailbox Power, but I didn't see us as being up here because I looked at what we were making monthly and I compared it to what I was putting in 40 plus hours a week to create an income for. So I was comparing a super part-time business to a full-time job with full-time hours. What if I worked that part-time business like a full-time job and worked it? And I can promise you, I don't think there's anybody in Mailbox Power working 40 plus hours a week other than our corporate staff. And so they're not creating residual. If you went and worked 40 hours a week like you do in a quote real job, and you did that for 5 years, just 5 years, what type of residual income could that create? 3 years ago, when Mike and I were looking at that, we had been doing it for really working it full time. If we looked at it, or part-time, full-time, like put the effort in more than an hour here, an hour there. So when we first started in this business, the first few years, we were both had full-time jobs, and it was kind of like, I'll talk to a few people here and there, a couple people a month. But once I started actually working it, which was in 2015 when I retired, so 9 years ago, and this was 3 years ago, so I had actually put 6 years in. We'll count 7 because the last year I was in the Air Force, I was working Mailbox Power, the business of Mailbox Power, what we do now, as much as I could. Like I was trying to create that income. So 7 years to create a residual income, not working 40 hours a week, 7 years of maybe 10 hours a week, or toward the end more, to create an income that's bigger than a 27-year career, a 28-year career, or a 19-year career. I'm okay with that. I really am. And I've now wrapped my head around that, and I understand what we have at our fingertips. And I sure hope that this opened your eyes to the same thing I see. And let's just go explode this thing and all make mailbox money and be doing all the fun things we want to do in life that right now we are not doing because our income is not allowing us to do what we want to do and truly have time and financial freedom.
Love it. Love
With
it.
that,
Hey,
What was-
Brenda,
yes.
maybe because everybody's using the word residual income, maybe we should call it repeat income because it's basically lather, rinse, repeat.
Yep.
So it could be a repeat income. And I mean, for people approaching retirement, you're not going to get any raises like that from your job or anywhere else.
No, not at all. Yeah. So in my retirement, I do get a cost of living raise. Not every year. It depends on whether they approve a budget with a raise for the military cost of living. But there's both Mike's retirements. Well, no, the first one is fixed. It will never. So he retired 40 some odd years ago, and it's fixed. The retirement he got 40, not 40 years ago. The retirement he got 23 years ago is fixed. Do you think what he made 23 years ago in retirement is the same as today? Sure, the dollar is the same, but the economy is not the same. which means you cannot possibly not go back out and do something to earn extra income. That is why so many people are working at Taco Bell, McDonald's, Chick-fil-A, Walmart, Walgreens. You'll see a lot of people in retirement that are now out and they had to go grab another part-time job because they cannot possibly live on their retirement from their careers. So let's go change this world, one affiliate at a time, and go teach people how to make $1,000 or more monthly in residual or repeat income. With that, have an awesome week, everyone. Go find
Thank
a few
you.
affiliates, and I want to hear about your success this past week.
Thank you. Great.